when you're arrested and before you've been brought before a judge, the officer will ask you questions. Depending upon whether or not you're in custody, the officer is supposed to give you Miranda warnings to give you the choice not to answer questions. However, as well as the officer is supposed to ask you whether or not you'll submit to a blood alcohol test. With regard to any questions or whether or not you wish to submit to a blood alcohol test, you are entitled to tell the officer that you'd like to speak to an attorney first. Many times the officers will allow you to consult with an attorney before you have to answer whether or not you'll submit to a blood alcohol test. So it's always important to ask. Many times the officers don't permit the person to make a phone call. However, the defense attorney will use that later against the officer and against the prosecution. They didn't give the person the opportunity to speak with an attorney. But it's important to ask because many instances the officer will let them speak with an attorney. The officer is not required to allow you to speak to an attorney, but many times the officers will because they don't want that issue to be utilized later in the defense of your case.